one more step in the saga. I fired this up yesterday and ran it until the thermostat turned on. It was rattling and clanking and popping through the carburetors. So today I got it to where it idled pretty good. I don't hear any bad engine noise in it. But I'm going to have to clean these carburetors. Anyway, I got to take these two throttle cables apart here. I think I can just loosen this one up and then pull it off of the bottom and then turn it out. These are actually really easy to get loose. So far I only just got 4 screws loose. I just loosen up the lock nut. I'm screwing this thing in, try to give myself a little more cable. All I really need to do is pull it up and out of that housing right there, just like that, and that'll loosen this cable down here so I can get it out of its little holder, and I'm going to need 2 hands for that. Well, I pulled a few hoses out of the way and it came all the way out to here. At least I can see the thing right in there where it's supposed to come off. I remember I had a set of these off once before, and I remember it wasn't that hard. The cables were kind of a trick. But anyway, I'll get the rest of this off and then we can take it over there and start trying to clean it. Well, that's it. I got them out. I don't know how good this camera is showing it, but these manifolds are all cracked. I don't know if you can see there. Yeah, I'm just sticking my screwdriver into that crack there. And this one's cracked as bad too. Yeah, it's cracked all the way through. Now there's a remote possibility that these things might seal, but I've seen too many troubles from just cracked rubber, and it'd be just better to put new rubbers on it. And that way I don't spend all the time that I'm going to waste taking this thing apart and cleaning these carburetors for nothing. So I'll order some more of them. In the meantime, I'll cover this up so I don't get any water in it. First thing I did to these carburetors is took some paint stripper and put it all over this thing. Try to get this old black paint off, and then I can wash it, and then I'll try to clean up the rest of it with gas. I've got some old dirty gas that was in the tank that'll work just fine for cleaning this stuff up. And then I can do any little stuff to these covers whenever I get them apart. When I get the carburetors apart, first thing I'll do is just split 2 carburetors. Yeah, and then I'll just leave both sets together. That way I can get to the bowls and everything, and just to redo and clean up 1 carburetor at a time. Yeah, that's quite a bit better. Got all of the paint and stuff, and I just hit it with a high pressure hose, and I got most of it off. The rest of it I can take a little fine brush or something to it. May do that right now. I then took a wire brush to it Just a little hand one, and wire brushed everything that I could pretty much reach. A little carburetor cleaner on it. So I pretty much got these cleaned up good enough to start taking them apart and rebuild them. I'll give you another little update. Another little step in the saga. I split the two carburetors apart, and I'm trying to get them all apart. Now I bought an impact tool here, and it's got a couple good bits, but it just wouldn't take these things off. They were just too ground up. But anyway, what I did here, I just took a hacksaw where I could, like on this one. Just show you there. And I just cut a flat in it. I think that one there is already cut. I don't have my glasses on. And then I use a flat blade on the driver, and I pound it into the screw there. And then I put the driver on it, and I'm able to break them loose. I'll show you a little bit of that later here. Now this set I've done, I made a little mistake in here. I'll show you what I did, but here it's a nice and clean, and I'll show you here. Yeah, they're nice and clean all the way around, and everything's all put back together good. Now I want to show you something that involves this little tiny O-ring right here. This is the main sleeve. Wow, stuck down on the thing. Main little sleeve that goes over the little piston with the jet and stuff in it. I'll show you how that goes. It's got a brass jet. Don't have it right here right now, but it goes down in there, and here it is. That's what it looks like, and it's got a slide on it here, so one side goes to the thing. But anyway, it goes in this slot right here, or not a slot, a hole. Now this little tiny O-ring here goes in there, and I was trying to figure out how it went. I got one carburetor right and one carburetor wrong. I want to show you what I did here, or that show you the right way to do it. Now if we look down inside the body there, you can see the place that this jet goes. It goes right there in that hole right there. Now if you, I don't know how you can see on this camera, but there's a little recess right there, and that's what an O-ring goes in, and that's what this little O-ring here is. So it's kind of hard to do this one-handed. Here, I'll turn off the camera. Alright, now what I did was put that O-ring on there, and I'll just drop this down in there. I'll get it up flat here. Alright, so that went in there, and you can see here that this goes back into the carburetor and seals the top of that jet against the base of the carburetor. Now, on top of this thing, the main little fuel body goes on top of here. See, it goes in here, and then this it's got a little pin on one side here, so the brass thing jet holder or whatever you want to call it. It's got to kind of go to the side like that. Set this down a second. See, so that goes on there like that, and then we got a washer and a big screw, which will go right here on top, and you got two more screws to hold it. I've cleaned this one out already, and I've kind of blew some air through it. And but I want to make sure it's probably okay right now, but I'm not going to tighten it down yet. I want to make sure that all those little jets in there are clean. Now, next trick I want to try to show you is, now I've already tried to take an impact driver to these things and tried to get them loose, that second float bowl, and just no luck. I'll show you here. See, I've got a pretty good size impact here. You won't be able to see anything, but then I got it braced against the lathe, and I got a pretty good hammer to hit it a lick with. I don't know. I don't think it moved at all. Oh yeah, that one broke loose. Well, they've been soaking with WD-40, so let me try the impact on these and see if I can get them loose first. Well, I don't get to show you my trick, which is okay with me. But anyway, that after spraying these things with WD-40 and letting them set a couple hours or so, the impact was able to break that bowl loose. I've still got the same problem over here on this side. These are stuck. Now you can see here on this one I have cut a groove in it with a hacksaw. At least got it started. Yeah, see, I can't get that one off, so what I'll do is drive in the flat blade into that hacksaw cut and then use the impact on that. Alright, what I did was take a hammer and drove that into there, and I got it braced against the lathe so I can give it a real good hit, and that should break it loose. Yep, 2 or 3 good licks, broke it right loose. I'll try this one with the Phillips once, and then if not, then I'll saw it. I think this one here I already loosened up. Yep, that's when I saw it. If I can't get this one loose, I'll saw it and drive a flat blade in it and get it out. Well, that took a lot of banging and no real result. Here's another trick you can try. Put a vice grip on it and look at that, and break it free. Of course, once it's free, then you don't have any trouble at all with it. So anyway, there's a little trick. Just saw a groove in them so you can get a big flat blade impact in there, and that'll usually take them loose, and if not, at least you got a good cut or something that you can get a pair of vice grips on, and you know, you'll be able to get it out. Anyway, that's the last of the hard part. I'm going to go ahead and finish cleaning up this one carburetor. I got some plugs and stuff that got to go in here and everything. And maybe I'll just show you a little video how to put that stuff together too while I'm at it. And then I'll take the other one apart and clean it. Here they are, back together. Hear that clunk. Slides are closing good. And everything works. Missing a couple screws for the brackets on round up that stuff, but they look a lot better. They're nice and clean now, and they were all filthy dirty before. The ends polished up pretty good. So, and I got all the jets and everything clean, so I'm pretty sure I'm good to go with this.